We have enough blood all over our streets. Please don't add to it. Please just don't kill someone. That's all I'm asking you to do, man. You know, $40, an Uber will take you anywhere you want to go in this county. Anywhere. Please don't kill someone.
Yes,
Okay.
for one person.
All right. So, Mr. Lentz, you have opened 3 total cases. You've got right?
Correct, Your Honor. Procedure and trespass case, trespass case.
No, you got recent. Since the trespass, 268 has been.
Okay, so this one, right, 6 for 12, that was being dismissed. And the terrorist threat. So where are both of these trespasses from? Do you know?
It's his father's house, Your Honor, where he used to reside.
Okay. Both trespasses are from there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't go back.
Yes, sir.
You know what's going to happen if you go back, right?
I do know. Yes, sir.
At least call first.
Yes,
You
sir.
know,
Yes, sir.
because a phone call can go a long way to see if they want to maybe invite you over. That's a big difference than just popping in, because you pop in, it's probably just not going to go well, right?
Very well.
Right. We're not asking much. So you have a total of 3 open cases. You've got 2 criminal trespasses. You've got a terroristic threat. The agreement that you've worked out is they're going to dismiss one of the trespasses. You're pleading on the terroristic threat, and then on the trespass. On the terroristic threat, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're facing up to 6 months and or a $2,000 on the criminal trespass. It's 48 days in jail with credit for the 16 on the terroristic threat, and then 6 days with 12 days credit on the trespass. So it looks like you're walking out. But like I said, the other thing you need to consider is this, is you're pleading guilty to a terroristic threat. If you continue with the same course of conduct within a certain period of time, it's very possible they hit you with a felony charge. So I would be very careful what you do, who you talk to, especially on this terroristic threat, because it could land you years instead of days. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeals. Once you plead guilty, they will go on your record. You can never take it off. And from now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You still want to do this?
Yes, sir.
How do you, hold on a second. Is there an affirmative finding on the terroristic threat?
I didn't see one.
No, Your Honor.
No,
No, there's nothing on the.
No, I don't believe there should be, Your Honor.
that's important if there is.
My understanding was based off of
Yeah, but it's whether it's who's the person. Is it a family member?
There wasn't one on there. It was just
Conversation between, it was a,
Yeah, it's been a bad.
No,
I'll tell you.
don't.
Or I don't see it.
They didn't file it. Okay, that's important because you lose the right to have a gun and you face a 3rd-degree felony when those are alleged. So that's why it's important. All right. How do you plead to both of those cases? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty, Your Honor.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will send you the agreement. Good luck to you, Mr. Wentz.
Thank you, sir.
all right, thank you, Your Honor. You are doing it.
Mr. D,
Yes, sir.
you ready?
Yes, sir, Judge. You go ahead, please.
Mr. Son, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you've done. You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, it will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. If I were you, next time you get into a car, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, don't drive because it's going to cost you big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really. Take an Uber. It's a lot cheaper. How do you plead to the driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Is it true or untrue that you had a 0.15 or above?
That's true.
All right, so it's 3 days, 1 day credit, true to the enhancement. I'm going to suspend your license, ma'am. I have to suspend it. I'm going to suspend it for 180 days, ma'am. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you. Thanks. You can run it. Mr. Carruthers, you are charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 2nd, 2024, officers were dispatched regarding a major crash in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officers made contact with the wheel witness. The witness observed the defendant's 2005 gold Chevy strike an unknown person riding a bike with his vehicle.
Whoa.
Bike, yes, Your Honor.
Struck a person?
Riding a bike, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
The defendant then got out of his vehicle and began assaulting the unknown person and then drove away from the scene.
Whoa. You're telling me he strikes someone in a car and then on top of it starts this person?
Yes, Your Honor. The unknown person fled the scene and the defendant was promptly found by officers 1 block away in a private driveway. That was not the defendant's residence. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed an odor of beverage, slurred speech, and poor balance. The defendant was detained. He refused SFSTs. The DIC was read. The defendant refused to provide a specimen. A blood search warrant was signed and executed. He was identified by his Texas driver's license.
I had just so many problems with this.
So, Judge, we have been unable to locate the unknown person that was on the bicycle. He fled because he was getting assaulted. We have no way of finding him.
Not only that, how do I know he's not consuming anything after the fact? How do we know he doesn't go home and chug a fifth of vodka?
The DIMS does say he was promptly found by the officers 1 block away.
I get it. I get it. Promptly is a conclusory word.
I'm pulling up the OR right now, Judge, to see if they have anything more specific.
Can I say something now?
Don't, Mr. Carruthers, don't. Are you losing? Are you losing?
No.
Then stop. Anything else? Was that it?
Looking at times, Your Honor, to see if we can establish when he was found based on when he was dispatched. I don't think we have anything additional, Your Honor.
It says, yeah.
Mr. Carruthers, I'm going to find no probable cause on your case. You know, we have enough death. We have enough dismemberment. We have enough blood all over our streets. Please don't add to it. Please just don't kill someone. That's all I'm asking you to do, man. You know, $40, an Uber will take you anywhere you want to go in this county. Anywhere. Please don't kill someone. Take a seat, please. Good morning, Mr. Torres. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 50 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge is going to go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. This is important because if you ever get pulled over again and you smell like dope, what's going to happen?
Penitentiary back.
Up to 10 years. Cops don't care if you're falling down stupid ass drunk. You don't have to be like that. Just the faintest smell of you get pulled over, an officer is going to run your license. They're going to say DWI, DWI. Well, he's probably DWI again. Put him in. 2 to 10 in the penitentiary next time. If I were you, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I wouldn't get into a car. It is a huge risk. Not to mention how much money you paid for all this. You know what I mean? $40. Uber will take you anywhere you want to go. Don't matter where you want to go. $40. Use it. The right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. You can never take off. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I didn't plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty.
Yes.
I'm going to find you guilty. I have to suspend your license. I will suspend it for a year. Do not drive until you get a license. Now, when did he want to report for the jail time?
The 24th, Your Honor, 2 weeks from today.
Okay. You must report by 6 p.m. on that day. If you fail to report, I will issue a warrant for arrest. And then you're looking at up to a year in jail. Do you understand? So to report by 3/24 at 6 p.m.
And Your Honor, I don't know if I don't want to interrupt you, but just regarding court costs, if you would consider running them concurrently. I was retained, but Mr. Torres is I believe he's indigent. He's on SSI. He's on disability. And he also uses Medicare for his insurance. He's not working because he has a.
You know, in life, we are allowed to make mistakes, right? But when you continue to make mistakes where you endanger other people's lives, everything gets just so much worse. You know, I routinely, when I have a DWI first, I routinely run court costs because there's also a surcharge on your license of $3,000, perhaps $4,500 if you have a high breath test. It's a $6,000 surcharge on the DWI second. Why would I continue to reward you? What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm not there.
Don't work? What's the nature of your disability?
From the car accident.
It's a broken.
Because of your car accident in this case?
No, previous one.
Previous.
He had one in 2011, Your Honor.
And now we're here on DWI second. Was it due to another DWI?
Yes, Your Honor.
When do we learn? When do we learn? What is it going to take? A death? Lose a foot? What happened in the accident?
I had to be life-flighted.
Holy crap. Are you lucky to be alive?
Sir.
And here we are yet on a DWI, a new DWI.
Very
I'm suspending your license for 2 years. I don't want you anywhere near a car. Don't drive. You scare me when you get into a car. You're lucky to be alive. Much less, what about the rest of our, what? You know, my family's on the road all the time. I had a good friend a year ago die from a DWI. What? The reason that we have all these surcharges are because sometimes jail is not enough to get your attention. So now the legislature has made it to where somehow we got to get these people's attention. So let's just start hitting them where it really hurts. And that's in the pocketbook. This is a $6,000 surcharge, not to mention court costs $6,500 that you'd be rolling out of here with. What do you think? You want me to roll the court costs?
For you, Judge.
I will make you a deal. I want to see something proactive because I'm not sentencing him yet. And I can continue to sentence until the 24th of this month. Show me some proactivity so that we know it's not going to happen again. And I'm happy to roll the court cost. But I want to see something proactive from you so we know that you've learned something. Don't write me a letter. I get enough letters. I don't need a letter. I want something really proactive on your part that shows me that it's not going to happen again. We're not going to see that you've learned something from this. And if you can be proactive, show me something, then I'll waive your $6,500 in fines and fees. And this is important because if you don't pay it, every $100 you owe, you will sit 1 day in jail. So you can imagine how long you will sit on a $6,500 surcharge. You have 2 weeks to really knock my Aunt Connie's socks off. Do you understand? Okay.
Okay, thank
All right.
you. Now,
Got 2 weeks. Yep.